Good day, folks, and welcome back to another video interview from AboutSlots. Today, we're taking a look at D-Day from Nolimit City, and with us we have Krisztian from Nolimit City. I thought we'd
Hi
start
there.
it off by asking you some quick fire questions to get to know you a little better.
Let's
What
go.
is your name and role in No Limit?
My name is Chris. My surname is impossible to pronounce for most of the people, so I won't go into that. I am a PO, product owner at Nolimit City. Started like a year ago. Yeah,
Bonus buying or base game?
bonus buying.
Extra bet or no extra bet?
Well, it's tricky. Depends on what the extra bet gives you, but usually extra bet.
What's your favorite slot game of all time that you have not been involved in making?
Thank you or wanted. These two. Hard to decide which one.
And what's your favorite slot of all time that you have been involved in?
I yeah, I worked at Play and Go for 4 years. So and I did like 36 games there. And now at No Limit, it's my third game to be released. So it's kind of a bit biased balance. But I would say Moon Princess 100 was really amazing.
And if you could choose any slot to make a sequel to, which one would you choose?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. It's amazing to have you here. Part of the reason that we make these interviews for our viewers and followers is for them to learn a little bit more about the industry because it is a very special one and how you providers work behind the scenes, etc. And as you mentioned, you are a product owner, which is quite a common term you hear when you talk about the creation of slots. So could you go into a little bit more detail? What is a product owner and what do you do?
Yeah, sure. I watched a few of your interviews before with Play and Go, etc. So I try to be less corporate because I feel it's a bit boring to just go with the corporate bullshit. So basically, a product owner is driving the production. In different companies, they have different responsibilities. Here at No Limit, we have full responsibility, but we have also full power of doing slots. So basically, full life cycle management of production, starting from the idea, driving through the idea through the production board, so it gets accepted, then doing the production with the team, then checking the product, adjusting, finalizing, releasing, and even post-release work. If something goes wrong, if there are bugs or we want to adjust, it may happen. Also included in promotion, as you can see, we do this video now. We take part in marketing as well. So loads of responsibilities. Super fun though. Very interesting. Loads of powers, as I mentioned, in No Limit. So we can change the deal here for sure.
Yeah,
That's how I
so
would
so
summarize.
so it all starts with that you come up with the idea of the slot and the theme, or
Yes, yes, yes. So slot mechanic theme. The more build out, the more thought through the idea is, the easier it is to produce a slot. Yeah, so usually we focus on having a really good idea in the beginning because then it will be much easier to produce the slot. Otherwise, if you don't have a steady idea, it can go very many ways and then you lose the ground and production gets out of hand. And I've seen it happen so many times. So focus is always on the beginning to get a really good mechanic, very catchy theme, hopefully mainstream, obviously something matching the No Limit style, which is controversial, outstanding, No Limit brand, and super fun. Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
was
the
gonna I
main
was gonna
point.
go into that because obviously with the game being called D-Day, it's about the Normandy landings, and just like
Yeah.
expected from No Limit, there is a lot of like dark humor involved with the big
Oh
win
yes.
screens and all of that. And what I'm getting at and what I want to ask is, as a product owner for No Limit, do you have rules or are you fully free to do whatever you want thematically, or
Well,
do you guys
yeah.
brainstorm together like to come up with ideas together, or
Yeah, it's a teamwork always. So as a product owner, we come up with the initial idea, but we have really strong teams, and that's one of the really strong strengths of Snow Limit. That when we go into production, everyone is open to say a word. And D-Day was a very good example for this, because when I came up with the initial idea, then the team started to work on it, and suddenly ideas started to pop up, and it was really interesting because we accepted loads of ideas and we changed and we adjusted and the mechanics changed a bit. So everyone has their own part in it, the front end, the back end, everyone. So really cool stuff.
Do you guys get any like? I mean, of course, there are a lot of sensitive people, etc. out there. Do you guys get a lot of
Rules, well,
backlash for your themes
yeah,
from
we
other
can.
providers, maybe with
From
your
casinos, yeah.
from casinos?
Yeah, casinos might not like some of the games, but we try to stay unique in this sense. Yeah, so obviously there are no rules. Basically, we do what we want, but at one point, we need to see what people want. Yeah, do a bit controversial, do dark humor, go out of boundaries, but obviously we keep our common sense and don't do crazy stuff.
For viewers who are listening, you've been involved in two prior No Limit games, right?
Yeah,
Product
DJ
owner.
Psycho and Ugly Sketch.
DJ
It was
Psycho
my
and Ugliest
games.
Catch. Because what I was
Yeah.
getting at is with Ugliest Catch, obviously a like making fun of all the fish games
Oh yeah,
in the current.
that was the point. Yeah.
How did you receive any like backlash for that from other providers? Because I assume you meet a lot of them at events, etc.
Honestly, not really. So Ugly Sketch was a smooth release. We mocked the fishing games in a nice way, yeah, because we put the emphasis on the drunk guy who the drunk fisherman. Yeah, instead of catching big fishes, we went with all ugly and drunk and similar things. So it was smooth. Didn't hear any bad things from providers for sure.
That's good to hear. I guess we should move on a bit to D-Day that we're talking about today. I've tested the game before this interview, and I am personally very impressed with it. And I think the
Awesome, man.
biggest reason for that is that it reminds me a lot of my favorite like No Limit era.
That was my initial goal. Yeah, do the no limit old school feeling.
Exactly, with like a war theme or criminal theme or whatever. Das Exports and Q, Pearl Harbor, all of those. So that was your idea then, yeah. That was what inspired you to
Yeah,
create the game.
yes. When I came to Limit, it was my initial first thing: do a fishing game and do a war game because I really like the X-Boat. Pearl Harbor is also super fun, but X-Boat is much stronger. So I wanted to do like a tribute to the World War for sure, and do it with a different mechanic, completely different, yeah, because it's a bit outstanding now because we have a pick and click option in D-Day. We also have loads of features. We have a special feature as well. So do something different with old school no limit feeling because nowadays we started to go a bit different direction with the no limit themes. So I wanted to have a bit more classic feeling to the game for sure.
Yeah. As you mentioned with the pick and click
Yeah, the
feature,
pick and click.
where you like you get random features for your bonus, right?
Yep.
When you trigger it. Is that the first pick and click from No Limit?
Well, not really, because we will have Deadwood, right, where you pick and click between two bonuses, but that's a bit different,
Yeah.
right? Because you pick the bonuses. Plus, we have a few other games where you pick and click in the max win, right? So you can choose, like in
Yeah, with
Serial at the
Serial,
end.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But otherwise, we for this bonus setup where you pick your own features, right? And you basically decide on what features will hit. This is definitely a first one. We had to even iterate the action spins for it because in the action spins, you need to decide as well, right?
How does that work in the action spins? Yeah, because normally you would just skip past the bonus and get a payout.
Yeah,
How would that
if
work with
if
this?
if you if you click on the bonus to be played, then you can pick. But if you skip the bonus, then it auto picks the features.
It randomly picks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think it's very interesting because those pick and click games are, from my experience from streaming, it's often very requested games. So Golden Fish Tank is a great idea. It's such a
Oh,
beloved
for
game.
sure.
Like no one dislikes that game.
My
But like,
wife's favorite game.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
for
has a
sure.
lot to do with the. Of course, the picks are random. You don't actually have any power in it like that. But it's still a sense of you playing the game uh, that I
Yeah,
do
more
think players
interaction
like
from
a lot.
player. Yeah, for sure. The more you can get the player to interact, I think the better the player will feel it's their personal game, and they can have a little bit of power on the game. Yeah, so that for sure matters.
Now, we're not going to probably dive too deep into the mechanics of today. There's so much to unfold. We will have a review of it and everything. And when we're doing this interview, we will have a video running as well. But
Nice.
would you be able to just give a quick rundown of what sort of mechanics are in the game?
Yeah,
Perhaps
yeah,
what games
sure.
it might remind players of
Yeah,
as
sure.
well?
So it's a 3 by 4 by 5 by 4 by 3, right? And the main emphasis is on wild creation in this game. Yeah, so we have 5 features in this game. In base game, you hit them with 2 scatters, or with 3 scatters, you get to the bonus. With 4 scatters, you get to the better bonus, and 5 scatters, the super bonus. And 1 scatter is outstanding. 1 scatter on the last reel is the atomic scatter, which if you land, then you get the atomic feature. If you land 2 scatters included with this atomic scatter, then you get the atomic feature, atomic wild feature. All the features basically are about wild creation except one. So the tanks give you horizontal wilds, the bomber gives you vertical wilds, the artillery picks random symbols on the screen and transforms it to wilds. And then we have the Stuka, which is the fighter plane, which splits up the waves. So basically, loads of combination exists that you can increase the waves amount and put in wilds on the screen. Plus, if the wilds cross, then they become X2, X3, and etc. The atomic wild is something special. It has much higher average payout, of course, and it's a random wild, one wild, with a multi from 10 to 100, which can be placed on the screen, and you can get huge wins with it. And obviously, these features can play out in one spin, one after each other.
And combine. Yeah.
Yeah, combine. And that's the main point of the free spin. In the 3 scatter, you get 2 picks, 4 scatter, you get 3 picks, and 5 scatter, you get 4 picks. However, in the 5 scatter, you land the atomic wild and you are guaranteed the atomic wild pick. So that pick is predefined for you. So you always get the atomic wild. Also, if you get the atomic scatter with 3 scatters, you get the atomic wild, so you will have less picks. And basically, in the midterm, the player is looking to hit all the features at once, filling the screen with wild, full of multis, having huge win, and having loads of fun.
It's when we talk about like all of these different features and stuff, I just come to think of like producing a game like this because you are the main man who comes up with the ideas, right, as the product owner.
Yep.
And then you have coders and people doing the math, I assume.
Yep.
How is the process of getting all the ideas out of your head and making everyone else understand just what you're after and then putting it on screen? Like how long does it take?
It's not, it may be, it might sound a bit long, but actually it's not. So, firstly, the team is great. I mean, the people working at No Limit and this dream team is amazing. And our communication was the key here. So they understood what I wanted instantly. The second part is that I need to be super clear with what I want. So when making, let's say, a game document, I am just very clear, step by step. I show them what I am thinking about, how it should look like. Obviously, I know games, I know the math behind it, so I know if a feature will play out as it's supposed to be, or a feature is impossible to play out because mathematically it will not work. So it comes to my knowledge, it comes to very good communication, good documenting, and fun. Yeah, I really like to work in fun environment. So people, I hope the guys did enjoy doing this game, but I think they did. And if people are having fun and enjoying, then the product will be amazing. that's how it's supposed to be, I think.
Yeah. But does it change? Like from when you start thinking of a game, does it change during the process? Does it change a
Yeah,
lot? Like the
not a lot. It depends. Yeah, if you have a good idea, if you have good mechanics knowledge, and you know what can happen, because math is always a balance in slots. You cannot put 1 billion wilds on the screen because it will not work out with the RTP. But if you know the good balance and uh, taking this into consideration, you make the rules, then it will work out. As I mentioned, we had loads of suggestions. Vishnu, the front end guy, suggested to change one thing. Well, we did adjust that one. Uh, uh, Backend also had some suggestions with the atomic scatter, so we did adjust that one. Smaller things always change, but only smaller things. And I believe the stronger the idea is in the beginning, the easier it will be because you don't have to change because it works out.
how did you I think it's such an interesting job that you have just coming up with these ideas. How did you how did it start for you, like getting into the industry and getting to where you're at today?
Well, watching, honestly, it sounds a bit promo, but you were the first streamer I started to watch. I played casino games before, right? So I don't know, since like 10 years, 15 years, definitely playing casino games, land based. So I started to watch streams when the streams started to be popular. And after like 2 years, I was working in different environment, different market. And after 2 years, I was like, I saw a job opening for product owner at Play and Go, and I was like, fuck it, let's go, let's try. And it worked out. I didn't have any experience, any knowledge. I had the knowledge in the slots, but only from the player perspective. But I was able to convince the boss at Play and Go, and he was happy, and I was happy. So it just turned this way randomly. And then things started to build up. I started to produce really good games, top three games. And then I changed to No Limit because No Limit is awesome. And now I'm doing even better games. So random luck.
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta take your chances, right?
You take your chances. Yeah, it's gambling.
Exactly.
You never know. Obviously, it's hard to get into a position without experience, but you need to start at some point.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Amazing to hear. What before we call it a day? What do you personally have in the pipeline except for D-Day? And what are you looking forward to when it comes to No Limit releases this year?
Great, crazy games, man, for sure. That's the most important. I can't disclose much info, but the next game will be out in March, and that's on the roadmap, and that's Possessed, which will
Yeah.
be awesome. And it's an exorcist theme, basically running uh, with the wave of exorcist movies, right? All these exorcist movies.
Yeah.
So we do something very similar theme wise, and do something special with the mechanic. uh, Again, a bit old school mechanic, with mystery symbols. Really interesting, and loads of controversy because we touch on the religion a bit. But yeah, it will be fun. So
That's
it will be
actually
released
quite
like in a month's
rare.
time.
We've talked about that on stream, that is like that's like one of the only themes that rarely gets touched on, and that is religion.
Yeah, because Italy and Spain are very cautious with that. Yeah, and Italy and Spain are big markets, so
Yeah,
we need to watch out with them. But come on, Exorcist movies were released as well.
so it is.
We mock the devil. You can mock the devil. There's no bad thing in that.
I just have to say, like when it comes to No Limit, there's few providers that is as fun to follow as when it comes to new No Limit releases, and I think it has a lot to do with like how not only mechanically different, but when it comes to the themes, you just never know what you're gonna get, and that is
Yeah, yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
I'm surprised as well sometimes when some product owner tells me a theme, and I'm like, oh wow, that's too much, man, for sure. That's definitely too much. But then we do it, and it's not too much.
Can never
I
be
think there
too
is
much, right?
I think there is never no too much, yeah, at all.
Amazing, Chris. It's been amazing talking to you today.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thank you.
I hope we can. I will hope we can do something similar again for your next release, and perhaps we
I'm
can look
open, man.
back at D-Day then.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, yeah. I'm really open. So Possess comes out in a month's time, so maybe we can do it soon.
Yeah. Big big congrats on the upcoming release, and I hope it's an absolute banger and that it goes well.
Thank you, man. Let me give you also a compliment. I'm really enjoying your streams. I think you were also a newcomer in the stream industry, and you're doing really well. And looking at the chat, people really like your content. So great job there. Really enjoying the streams that you do.
Thank you so much, man.
Good stuff.
Have a great day and a
Thank
great
you.
2024.